Good afternoon. I'm making this video so there will not be any confusion as to who this video is coming from and who it is going to. I'm making this video because we have a ward that has public officials that sit in the seat, and to keep down chaos and confusion and misunderstanding of words, this video is an open letter to Alderman Emma Mitz from myself, Renee Thomas. And I'm going to read what I've written, and it also was posted in Renee's corners for information. So there will be some clarity as to who is coming from and who it is going to. The letter starts off and it says, I have lived in this community for 44 years of my life. When my parents moved here in 1970, there were rabbits running everywhere. On the corner of Central and Lake was a restaurant called Whoopies. On Chicago Avenue between Long and Central, there were Buddy Bears, and next door was Jewel. And right up the street was a Walgreens. On Laramie and Chicago Avenue used to be a bank. The Buddy Bears has been replaced with a beauty supply house, sharing walls with Family Dollar. What once was Jewel is now an inside mall, and where Walgreens used to sit is nothing. You ask why this letter? Well, let me tell you why. There seems to be concern with whom I supported in the election, Leroy Duncan. And as stated before, it was my personal choice. It was nothing personal but for the betterment of the 37th Ward. Here are my reasons. There are no walkability for anything of substance, and we have more Dollar General dollar stores, beauty supply stores, and little pop-up restaurants than we need. Abandoned buildings, vacant lots, and streets filled with trash. A park, Levine Park, which has not been touched in over 20 years with upgrades. The cry of my voice has been ringing since I've been here. Percy Giles was the alderman before you stepped in and took the seat, and I told him at the YMCA that used to be on Central in the Upper South lobby, you are going to jail for not doing what you are supposed to do. Mismanagement and looking out for yourself, and that is exactly what happened. I don't have anything against any elected official. Let's clear that up. My intention and my purpose is for the betterment of the community, and if someone is offended by that, so be it. I will not apologize. I will support anything that will bring positive change into the ward in which I live and love, but I will not be made to feel that I am in fear of my decisions, which is my right to whom I will support. I will not be chastised for my decisions in whom I support, neither will I look over my shoulder wondering what will happen because of the power held. I say this again, as stated. No, I don't know all the ins and outs of politics, but I do know what I see, and the eyes don't lie. If speaking up as I always have causes some discomfort, then again, so be it. I have not changed. My writing in the Austin Talks, tweeting, YouTube is still what I do, as I am doing now. You stated that what you went through made you stronger. Did it really? You said sometimes you get too comfortable and you have to be shaken up. So what is the issue with people individuality? The voice of the people has the power, and when that seat is set in, it is the position of that person to represent the people in totality, not depending on who they are or how many favors they are in debt to you. So let me help you out for research purposes, just in case this will be a device to use against me. My parents bought the residence in which I live today when I was 10. My mother died in the very house from pancreatic cancer, and my father was murdered in the front yard by my neighbor's boyfriend, which was an accidental death, wrong person, because he assumed that my father was cheating with his girlfriend, the same lady I helped get the apartment, and she was actually having an affair with her landlord. So I thought I'd put a little more detail to that. My only son is deceased at the age of 3. I have little faith in the system in which we call fair and just. Reason being, there was no justice for the death of my father because it was black on black crime. I spent the last 8 years dealing with mortgage fraud and still dealing with the issues and the late effect of that, only to discover the criminals get away and the innocent go through hell to prove they have been wrong. I work in a community that at times I don't get paid, but continue to push because of my love for the children and my community. I have had my car repossessed because of lost wages. At the same time, a transmission went out, which was taken illegally. The system that was set up to help does more harm than good. If you don't have money, then it serves no purpose whatsoever. I've had issues in every phone call made, informing to go through the alderman's office first. And my reply was, it's not going to make a difference. So you can understand now. I hope so. I'm going to keep it real. Straight talk, no chaser. For the first time in history, Chicago was in a runoff. 18 aldermen and the mayor. Do you think that was coincidental? I don't think so. But here's my response to that. If the elected officials to whom some was chosen by the people and some appointed did their job, it would have been a clean sweep. But track records come into play and people start to see and feel the unmet needs and the broken promises. People wanted to be treated fairly and to get the services that they need when they invest in buying or renting in this community. If every CEO of a company took it personal when they decided to change hands to move forward, some of these companies would not be where they are today. Your famous statement, unity in the community. Is this true? Because if it was, the difference of opinions would not weigh so heavily. You would appreciate the strong individuals in your ward who constantly fight for what is right and want to see change. Every person does not view things as you do. If everyone was the same and agreed all the time, what kind of world would this be? But don't disregard the message they are sending. If the legacy you are striving to leave for the work you have done in the community is your purpose for one to be alderman for another 4 years, support goes both ways and understanding goes even further. You feel like someone turned their backs on you, and what we turned the back on was the way the community was going. Once the elections was over with, it was in the past and time to move forward. Holding on to what you think someone should have done does not help any situation. I gave you a fresh start. When they said you won, then it was up to you to show the ones who had lost the vision and faith that things would be different. I'm accountable for me, and if I speak or address what I would like in my ward to see it become better, cleaner, and more safe, then something is wrong, and the main goals are going unattended. Unity means to band together, the strong with the weak, and together we can accomplish things. You are the vessel that is used as the voice for the community. You are not the community. This goes across the board. If every elected official would consider they are the vessel in which the community voice comes through, we can make some progress. But when you think this is your world, it poses a problem. Remember, the vote is what is needed to get you in office, and it is the vote that can remove people from office. Not a threat, but a fact. So do your best work with people. Sometimes you have to show them and then they will believe, but keeping people off the list of meetings, block club, president meetings, monthly meetings, whatever it may be, blocking them from offices or whatever, and behind the scenes denying something does not make for a good leader. A good leader accepts the challenges put before them and look at ways that all could work together to reach the goal. A great leader does not take it personal and see the benefits of strong individuals in the community and does not see it as a threat. Let's take it biblical. God is not the author of confusion, and everything should be done decent and in order. But don't forget that vengeance is the Lord's. It is not ours. And if it was to be used in that manner, be very careful, because He truly knows the motive for which you do what you do. When a person stands up for what they believe in, does not make them a threat. Some residents are not as vocal as others, and they should be, because they complain about their dissatisfaction. You just don't hear it. Leaders are in a position of power, but be careful how that power is used. Some things could be cleared up with a simple conversation, but that would be too simple, and sometimes the truth is not what you want to hear. But I will not lie, period. The ward is rich, but yet so poor. Work, action, understanding, compassion, and most of all, forgiveness, as well as be honest. Using a position to make someone's life hell does not make for a great leader. What if Martin Luther King, Malcolm X would have kept their voice to themselves? Where would we be, as well as so many others? I will continue to fight for what I believe in until I can't fight anymore, but it's never personal. It's for the love and the betterment of my community. Signed, a dedicated, concerned resident who diligently work in her community on foot patrol. That's me, Renee Thomas. Have a good one.